Hey everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of the Sports Diary. Today's episode features the very talented co-principal of All Star Dance and Fitness Academy, Jade Simpson. Jade started her dancing journey at the age of 4 years old at a local dance school, where she took part in a variety of different clubs within the dance, cheerleading and theatre world throughout childhood, teenage and early adult years. She later gained a place at theatre school with an 80% scholarship. Recently, she has started a heels class to empower those of all different ages, sizes and abilities to have fun, feel confident and be themselves. Jade openly admits how she came under scrutiny about her body image when attending theatre school and how she now juggles being a businesswoman with family life. Hey Jade, and welcome to our first episode. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I feel very, very honoured to be the first guest ever.
We're so excited to have you on. You're just a big bundle of energy and we absolutely love it.
Thank you.
So we're going to get straight in. So, obviously the listeners, you may not know Jade, so what are 3 interesting facts about you?
Okay, so I'm really not that interesting. However, interesting facts that people may already know about me. So I am a mother. I have a daughter. Her name is Lila. She's 3 years old. And I run a dance school. And I am married, and I have been married for...
No pressure. We're checking.
Yeah, I know, checking. Got married in 2018, so I'm not that quick at maths either. That's another little interesting fact about me. And then I guess I've got facts that people may not know about me. I have recently taken up skiing.
Oh,
which is so difficult.
Yeah,
I thought I'd be quite good at it. And being a dancer, people think, oh, well, you've got good balance.
Good coordination.
Yeah, no, it's really, really quite difficult.
Would you recommend it?
Yes. However, I haven't been on a skiing holiday yet, and that's like where I need to go. I think I'm just going to go for the après ski, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then other interesting facts. I used to be able to say I've never broken a bone in my body. However, I broke my foot playing netball a couple of years ago. All this sport malarkey is very dangerous.
Stick to 2 feet on the ground.
Exactly.
Okay, wow. Let's jump straight to it. So I want to start at the beginning. Talk us through what life was like for Jade as a child.
So Jade as a child, So my mother says, and now having a daughter myself, I can kind of see it. I used to have a lot of tantrums as a young child. However, my upbringing was very, very good. I have a beautiful family, very supportive and encouraging. So I lived with my mum, my dad, and then I have a younger sister and a younger brother.
Oh, lovely.
So just very supportive family.
And how was school life for you? What sort of student were you?
When people ask me this question, I say that I was like a mix of the two. So I felt like I was really, I wasn't academic, as in I didn't do really, really well in all of my subjects. I wasn't like a star student. I did quite well, but found a very good friendship group that I was like one of the more popular girls as well. So I had that good mix of teachers like me, but also like I was a good person to be around at school, socially as well.
And what sort of activities did you enjoy growing up?
So obviously dancing, that started from quite a young age. That was around 4 years old. I also enjoyed netball. Kind of had a big break from that, actually. Did it as a child and then had a big break and then kind of did it again as an adult, which again, really loved. I also enjoy theatre and doing pantos, things like that, and cheerleading as well, which is
exciting.
A sport that you two are very
familiar with.
Yes, exactly.
Many broken bones. Absolutely. So you've obviously just mentioned theatre school. Mm-hmm. What was that like?
Theatre school was amazing. I absolutely loved it. I was very fortunate to audition for a couple of different schools, and I actually gained a scholarship space at the school I went to. So it was an 80% scholarship, which was very good for my parents as well, because as big as I wanted to dream of like those big London theatre schools, it just wouldn't work for us as a family. We weren't in the financial position to do that. So having that 80% scholarship just really helped out with things. Just made it a little cheaper. But absolutely loved it. I did a 3-year theatre course in 2 years because I was actually the only one on my theatre course in that year. Yeah, which was very strange.
Yeah, I bet.
Very strange. It was a school that was a small intake anyway. And I remember having my audition, and there was loads of girls there, and found out I got my place. And on my first day of college, I thought, oh, I wonder who else would have got in? Would it be that girl with the dark hair? Maybe that girl with the blonde hair? And I was so excited. And they basically said, no, that's it. It's just you. All right, okay. Which was mad. But
what was that like? Did you have anyone to talk to about, sort of being on your own and different aspects of the school?
Yeah, so there was still the second years and the third years. So
Right.
So I still had those groups to speak to, but I found it quite difficult actually, because they'd already built their friendship groups within that year. So it was quite tricky to get into, but because it's such a small place anyway, it was very easy to build those relationships quite quickly.
So after theatre school then, was it quite difficult to get jobs?
Yeah, so I did quite a few different auditions, and really that's where my eyes were like truly open to the industry itself and how difficult it is. And even those adverts for your different auditions, they'll say they want a variety of different people. However, it's almost like typecasting. They know exactly who they want, and if you don't fit the bill, then don't bother. So a lot of knockbacks with auditions, just being in a different body to what you would expect a typical dancer to be. I think when you think of dancer, you think like tall, long, lean. I'd like to think that nowadays it's getting a little bit better. I think people are embracing different types of people, different types of bodies, different dances, different styles of dance. But I think back in my day, it was very much if you weren't what they thought a dancer should be, then there wasn't any point.
Yeah. And can you touch on any like personal experiences where like the dance school has had any like positive or negative effects on, say, your mental well-being?
So there was a situation at the theatre school. I believe that it was maybe a review of the year or of my course. I'd imagine it was the year actually. And strangely, I'm trying to like really think back to this. It's quite difficult. I don't know whether my brain like shut some of it out because it wasn't quite traumatizing, but it did take a toll on my mental health. So it's difficult for me to remember everything. But for some reason, I wasn't in the room at one point, and my mum was. So it was like a full family thing. Imagine like your parents' evening sort of thing. So it's like that. But my mum was there, and then my mum had a conversation with me after about how the rest of it went. And she told me that the head teacher had basically said about my weight, and that I needed to think about losing weight if I wanted to get anywhere in this industry. Pretty much. And I mean, I've been bigger than this, I've been smaller than this. At college, I was a lot smaller than the body I'm in now. That really could have taken a massive impact on my mental health. However, I didn't let it affect me too much. I have such a good family, and my mum is so good that she was like, you don't have to change yourself for anybody else. And I know that not everyone has that at home, so I know that's so difficult. Hearing those things from someone that you kind of respect, you look up to, and you just think what they say is gospel. That's it. There's no other way. Whereas I had that nice other side of it where actually I know that there is another way, and hopefully, growing up in my career, it's kind of shown that you don't have to be one size. It's not one size fits all.
No. And did that change your outlook on the dance school that you were at, with those opinions that they were having of students?
Yeah, it did. It really did. And it wasn't just me. There was others as well. And I always found that there was always favouritism. Always favouritism. And it unfortunately is the ones that are those, and it's absolutely fine to be in this body, a typical dancer body. They would be the ones that got all the cruise ship jobs, and they were, oh, look what so-and-so's doing. And it felt like everyone else was just brushed off if we didn't get those big jobs.
And can you recall a time that the dance school has had like a positive impact on your mental health?
So I think building those friendships, and one girl that actually, it's very strange actually, because whilst we were at college, we didn't get on very well at all for some reason. Only after college did we become friends again. I don't know whether it was that like competitiveness that's within theatre schools. It could have been. I'm not really sure. I can't put my finger on it. But building those friendships, found friends for life. She was bridesmaid at my wedding.
Oh,
So I think for me it's more that, and they help my mental health and being there for each other, sort of thing.
For sure. And I can recall like jumping into sports and taking away as an adult now that it's more than just being in a competitive sport. You build those friends, how to teamwork, team building, resilience. Like there's much more to sport than that, definitely.
Yeah.
So we've obviously touched on the mental health. What is like the physical demands like for you? How did it affect you?
So physically it was ridiculous. I just remember being so tired all of the time at college, and I started college when I was 16, so straight after school, and with the school that I was at, they also had like duties. They'd call them duties, which was then the teaching on the other side of it. So not only did you have classes from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. in the evening, from there you'd then have to teach the pupils at the school.
Okay.
So then you'd be working until 8 o'clock in the evening, and then on a Saturday. So it was just very, very mentally draining and physically draining. I mean, I love dancing. I absolutely love it. So at the time you don't really realise, because it's just so much fun. It's what you love to do. You've got such a passion for it that I don't think you realise at the time. When I think back, I'm like, I could never do that now. I do it like a normal day, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm shattered.
Do you think you experienced a bit of burnout being
100%. 100%. I also felt like with my family, and that, like I said, the 80% scholarship was really great. However, there was always extras with dancing. It's always like your costumes, that's not included in your termly fees. Costumes, you've got this, you've got that, you've got hair, makeup, everything else that comes with it. So after a conversation with my family, we were like, okay, well, you need to maybe get a job, just like a Saturday job. I mean, I couldn't do a Saturday job because of the dancing as well, but I ended up working at a local bar as a glass collector.
Nice.
And through the Christmas period, which is obviously busy, like with the bars as well, but as well as doing the theatre school, so normal classes, we'd also have panto. So we'd be working and performing on stage through panto, and any evenings that I would have off panto, I would then be working, and then I found myself very, very poorly after that. And my mum was like, okay, maybe you don't have to do that job anymore. I think
Actually get some sleep.
yeah, maybe you should just rest.
Treat yourself to some sleep.
yeah, yes, please.
So you mentioned that you started dance at the age of 4. Did that passion for dance stay with you right up until like you always knew that's what you were going to pursue when you finished school.
Yeah, it really, really did.
Yeah.
It was, for me, it was like dance and nothing else. I jumped into a couple of different things, but it has always been dance for me.
And what was it that made you like have that passion, or was there a particular somebody that inspired you?
I don't know. Like we said before, I really do think it's about the people. I was at a dance school when I was younger that was very, very good. Gave me lots of different opportunities. However, I'm not sure that it was the best place for me to stay long term. However, I just loved it. It didn't matter what happened there. It didn't matter what happened. I loved it because I loved dancing. I loved being with people and dancing with people and building those friendships and being on stage. They could do anything. They could say anything and I would still be there.
And I think sometimes when you've gone through a sport for a long period of time, it can almost sometimes feel like a chore. You've got to get up on Saturday, or you've got to go after school, and it's like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. So it's really nice that you didn't ever feel that it was a chore. It was always something pleasurable that you wanted to do.
Yeah, and going back to like the childhood thing, my mum always said like you don't have to do anything. Do you want to do it? She was never a pushy parent. Neither was my dad. My dad's just like,
do what you want.
Yeah, whatever.
I'll come to your
typical,
shows.
yeah, typical dad. He'll just let me know when you need picking up
And what money you need.
yeah, exactly. My mum was never that pushy. She always said like, that's it. You don't have to go back if so and so's done something or something's happened. So it was always me. It was always me that wanted to do it. Never.
Really
So you've mentioned obviously with your 3 facts that you have your dance school.
Mm-hmm.
So have you always wanted to do that? Was that the journey you had in mind?
I think long term, that's always what I wanted to do. I think I did really want to perform somewhere, something. I felt like I got so many knockbacks quite early and got knocked back pretty quickly that I found it quite difficult to keep doing that. And I knew that teaching was always something that I had the passion for and wanted to do. And I kind of thought, right, let's just jump into that. There's only so many knockbacks that I can take. Yeah. Thinking about it now, I feel like my mental health is so much stronger now. I could keep going. And I think when you speak to people, they're like, oh no, I got however many no's before I got a yes. So I think I maybe just wasn't in the right frame of mind. Maybe I wasn't mature enough. I think if I did it now, I'd be like, okay, on to the next one. But I'm very, very glad that I went straight into teaching. I have no real regrets. Everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely, firm believer of that.
Yeah. I love that quote.
And you recently set up a Heels and Confidence class.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to us about setting this up and what vision did you have for this class?
Okay, so this class I am super passionate about because what I really wanted to bring is that everyone, no matter your age, size, ability, everyone should have the opportunity and the safe space to be themselves and dance and feel good and feel sexy and desirable, all those different things. And it's just such a beautiful space that's so inclusive for everyone. I try very hard to keep choreography simple enough, but it would challenge people that have done dancing before, just to really include everyone. But I absolutely love it. It's so great.
And we've had the pleasure of experiencing these classes, and they are fabulous, and they are really inclusive, and it is people of all ages, shapes, sizes, whatever ability. And it's a really lovely space.
Thank
it
you.
does build people's confidence. You see people from week 1 to now, particularly in like the videos that you post.
Yeah.
And their confidence just shines through. So
It's
if you're
really
ever in rugby, get yourself down to a
Yes,
Heels and
please.
Confidence class.
I will say as well, though, I feel that obviously your past experience, you definitely bring that into your classes because I know you don't want anyone else. Like, I know when I leave, I feel like Shania Twain will come on and I will kick the door
Kick that
down.
door down off the
Like Jade
hinges.
said I can in my 6-inch heels. I'm kicking it down. So.
For
love it.
But honestly, thank you for just being that role model to so many
Thank you
people. If
so
no one's told you that
much.
lately, I Deserves a little clap.
Yeah, it does.
So, what do you think some of the misconceptions people may have around the dancing world?
So I think that everyone, okay, not everyone. So I think that some people think that dancers and dance classes is a very like bitchy environment, and it's not always like that. So like we were saying about my classes, try and keep that like nice, kind space where everyone can be themselves. Don't get me wrong, there will be classes out there that are very like competitive. I think that there's nice people out there, and people that will give you like a shot at things and give it a go, sort of.
For sure.
Thing. And some people think that you just have to be like amazing at everything and amazing at every style to be a good dancer. It doesn't matter. I think like that's what comes across so much better is your passion.
Yes.
If you've got that passion for it and you're confident in what you do, sometimes it comes across so much better than technique.
And how important do you think it is that young people engage in some form of physical activity?
So I am a firm believer in this. I feel like it is so important for youngsters to just be aware of their bodies, and it's not necessarily like for weight management, weight loss, nothing to do with that. It's important to understand your body and just move in your body in any way, shape or form, whatever you find fun. And it's not like, okay, right, I'm going out to eat something tonight, so now I'm going to have to go out for a run. It just gets you in such a bad state of mind, and that meant, again,
Start punishing themselves, don't they?
Exactly, and it should be that you should be happy to move your body. You should feel enjoyment when you move your body. You should feel grateful that you can move your body and doing something that you enjoy.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And I think
to punish.
Touching back on, we said earlier about how being involved in a sport, and I think from a young age, can teach you so much. And, you know, building friendships, teamwork, resilience, everything. I think that's one thing I'm really grateful for my parents, is putting me into sport.
So
for sure. I mean, we would never have met if it wasn't for
it's
sport.
That's so true. Like friendships and lots of different things that come with it, like your resilience and understanding and working as a team.
Yeah, it's definitely a community vibe, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Coming away just from like kind of dancey-ish. So how do you balance your home life and being a businesswoman? Imagine that's not quite easy.
It's not easy. I have to find that balance some way, shape or form. I am very lucky to have, like I said before about my family, but now my own family, so my husband and my daughter. Very lucky that, I know she's only 3, but she does understand, and kind of mummy's going to work, mummy's dancing, which is lovely. It is very difficult. I do have to be strong within myself sometimes and say no. I'm not very good at that. I'm not very good at saying no to people. Very much a people pleaser.
Yeah.
Oh, Jade, could you do an extra class here? Or have you got a private lesson here? And sometimes I just have to be like, I could, but also my family is so important to me. So just being strong enough to say no sometimes. Just sometimes.
Just get yourself a sign. No. Stick it on your head and be like, no.
Enough is enough.
Yeah.
I need to sleep.
I need to sleep and I need to see my daughter.
So you have a whole dance school of students who look up to you. What advice would you give to those students wanting to pursue a career in dance?
So I'm going to carry on doing what I do best in my dance school, which is teaching them and pushing those children that really want to dance and want to maybe take a step forward and do dance as a career. And as long as they love it and they really are passionate about it, then go for it. What have they got to lose?
So thank you very much, Jade. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on our podcast. The very first guest. How exciting.
I know.
So if you like what you hear, please like, rate and subscribe.
Tune in every other Monday for all of our upcoming guests. You really do not want to miss them.
I'm Demi.
I'm Nat.
Bye.